Hello everyone, this is John Marshall with another DrillMaster video critique. This is Lenape Color Guard, Lenape High School in New Jersey. And we are going to get started. Alright, so they're at order, ready to go. Even though you, you go up and then over and, it's a technique. All right, left color or a left guard, you actually moved forward in an arc. All right, let's stop here. So you moved forward in an arc. Jairatsi flag bearer, your left hand is flared. It should not be, and you got to use what I call the useless grip. Your thumb behind the staff. When you're with your left hand behind the staff, the thumb behind is great. It's the perfect grip for especially high winds. The Army uses it all the time. No other service does, but having the thumb behind is actually a practical grip. It works well. However, the training circular they're all drawings, the last couple of versions for some reason, and they used to be pictures. But the training circular shows or at least it seems to show the thumb in front, so that you're actually cupping your hand around the harness socket or the harness cup. You're cupping the cup, and it's silly. It really is. That's my point of view. It's just ridiculous that you have to do that, but that's what the technique is. So, sorry, you're going to have to change the technique to the thumb in front. Also, look here, Jairatsi color bearer, your staff is, well, the harness socket is much higher, significantly higher than the American. So that means that your finial is the point, the top of the flag there, the flag staff. The finial is going to be higher than the American, which is not appropriate. So what you have to do is, when you put on the harness, before you put the belt on, you have to make sure that one or the other guards makes sure that your harness sockets are level. They have to be at least level. That is the standard, to carry the colors level. Then that's for every service all the time. The American flag is always on the right. The harness sockets are always level. Now, they're not going to be level when there is a difference in waist height. Now, see here, we have a little bit of a difference in cadet height, and I'm going by the beret there. And we have an even less of a difference in the waist height. So, yeah, sure, height, complete body height plays a factor in that, but you can have two people who are the same height who have different waist heights, shorter torso, longer torso, or shorter or longer legs. So it's really the waist height that comes into effect here, because you have belts. So since you're wearing the belts, then and this is when the harness or the American flag is higher. When the waist heights aren't the same level, then you have to drop down and make sure that the harness socket comes below, since it's underneath the belt. It has to come below the belt. So then that requires sometimes that was good placement technique on the hip. That's great there, guards. However, it's a little bit too far front. All right, so switch cameras here, and I'll move the microphone out of the way. Okay, so instead of in front like you have it, the arm technique that you're using, that's the Marine Corps technique. The Army technique is, well, both drill and ceremonies manuals have you place the rifle on the hip, not at the front, but on the hip. So it's going to be just off the right shoulder. And the Army technique is to grab the rifle like this, to cradle it in the arm, but have your hand wrapped around the upper handguard there. So this is Marine Corps technique. So if I were to stand at attention, then see how the rifle goes off. This is the Marine Corps technique. This is the Army technique. So you need to use the Army technique to ensure that you're following the proper protocol for sling arms. Alrighty, switched, and we're going ahead. And that's not necessarily the proper technique either. I know you can control having that right arm grab the small of the stock. You can control the rifle better, but actually the technique is to take the rifle with the left hand by the sling, push your arm through, and then bring it back, and then you have that right forearm horizontal. So if you see here also, you've maintained this, so you have a visual memory here. You can see good consistent spacing between you three, but the left rifle guard is a little bit out there. All right, and I think I don't know if I completed my thought there with the left rifle guard. Left rifle guard, you're supposed to be the point that of rotation there, and what you did is you marched forward just a tiny arc forward, so that you took the team forward and around instead of having the team come around. So as soon as you take that first step with the left for the for either of the wheels, then you need to make sure that either guard, you're the rotation point. You need to make sure that that first left into the wheel is a mark time step, so that the whole team has to rotate around you. The more the guards, the pivot point guards move forward, the opposite end guard is taking bigger steps to get around. So on a wheel movement, on a turn, on the Air Force's silly command as well, they're all the same movement. It's that pivot point. The guard is always the pivot point, and the guard needs to remain there. Face, move out. Excellent. Switching the hands and then bringing it down. Now, bringing it down slowly is not necessarily, or I was not going to say good or bad, but it's not necessary to bring it down slowly. It's so when we're doing this, we're actually following the guidon staff technique of raised guidon. So that's why you switch your hands. This is raised guidon. Okay, so here what you can do, and I do have a staff. Hold on. Okay. All right, so switched. Happen to have my trusty staff here. All right, so here what you can do, can we see? Yes, we can. All right, so this is raised guidon, and then bring the staff down. You're unfurling, you come up. Now here, what I suggest, instead of bringing the staff up like this and looking down, you shouldn't look down. You have to, obviously, because both of your hands are on the staff, but both of your hands shouldn't be on the staff here. What you can do is raise the staff up, bring the left hand down to the harness socket, and then you can place it in. But you don't have to look down then. So you do this. Yeah, you can see. All right, so bring it up and in, and you're good to go. All right, so I definitely suggest doing that instead of looking down. You're at attention. Your head and eyes need to be straight forward. Let me switch back here, and you can easily then put the staff into the harness socket without having to look down. and you don't have to switch your hands. Your hands switch automatically just to facilitate the movement, and it looks much the flow of movement there. Now, obviously, that's an exhibition drill type of term, but the flow of movement here, it's purposeful, and you don't have to switch the hands back. Let me go back here. Reach down and up. Okay, so you don't go down on your on that salute, and then look at that. Now the blouse might be giving an optical illusion there, but it looks like maybe there might be a dip with the that guard's salute, maybe. So just to make sure. So when you're at sling, so you're holding the cases properly. That's good. You're holding them like a book, like this. You're holding the case like this, and that's a good thing. All right, so when you come across, when you're at, let me switch again. All right, so your right forearm is parallel to the ground, holding the sling. As you come across, you can use these two fingers to grab the sling. You're going to go immediately to the salute. On order, then you go all the way down, bring your hand back up, and then drop the left. Okay? Alrighty. So, switched back, and we're going to go on. Oh, I see. You both have flared hands. Yeah, don't flare the hands. Unfortunately, got to have that thumb in front grip. So, and the movement to go behind the color bearers, that's completely up to you. It doesn't matter, because honestly, we don't use this technique in the military. But it's I guess it's a good competition type of. Nice job. Ooh, I tell you what. Let's look back here. So both guards, when you go to there. Oh, well, maybe I can get it there. I'm not sure. Well, probably not. Watch the hands, the left hands. So you want to make sure that you're not pushing that blade across when for going to right shoulder. You want to make sure that the elbow is down, but also that the back of the hand is showing. I just noticed there's a slight difference there between the guards. Nice left hand position there, guards. Really good. Now, obviously, I can't really tell because of the graininess of the video, but it looks like you're bending the fingers around the small of the stock, which is a good thing. You definitely need to do that. Judge, you don't have to sound off. The commander of the team has to sound off. So yeah, I think I saw a little bit of an elbow lift on that, going back to right shoulder. So, and here's where we go to. Hey, not bad. Look at the timing. Look at the timing there. Really good. Just a little bit high, but that's not bad, team. Not bad at all. All right, so the reason I stopped here is because colors reverse is not a flank movement. It's a face as in marching movement. And I shorten the term to face in march. You face in march every single pivot. You always pivot on the ball of, or what I call the platform. The platform is the ball of the foot and everything forward. So you pivot on the platform of the right foot, whether you're going to the right or going to the left. And I've got I'll make a note of that, and I'll use that use the space below there to link to the article that I have that shows exactly how you're supposed to perform this. Now The counter march for the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard, that's flanks. But there, note finished. All right, but the Army, for some reason, decided that face and march for every pivot was going to be the better thing. Good, didn't leave them. All right, so left wheel there. Left wheel, hold on, stop. There we go. So left, Commander, you didn't leave the marking time for too long. That was great. Going into forward march right after that. Good job. Now, left wheel does not belong or begin on the next right foot. Left wheel begins on the next left step. So it's just like every other move that we do. We'll call something on 2 consecutive steps, take one more step in a normal step, 30-inch step in the direction that we're going, and then we'll start to execute, whether it's a flank or column or whatever. Here, we're going to wait until that first left step into that move to start the movement into the left wheel. Now, when you're going right wheel, march, left step. That's the first left step. You're going into that right wheel. For the left wheel, you're going to wait that first right step and then go right into it with the left. So as you make the wheel, 6 counts is usual. You can go to 8. So I mean, that's just a kind of a general rule of thumb. For a 4-man team, the counts are usually 6. And you can go 8. For teams that are bigger, then you got to do those the face in march. Now, what I noticed, team, is that your pace, your tempo is inconsistent here. When you're marking time, when you're half stepping, you're speeding up. When you're marching forward, you're slower. So you want to try to implement and achieve a 120 cadence all the time. Your tempo can go from 116 to 124, but that's for competitions. It gives you a leeway. The Army consistently shoots for 120, so obviously 120 is the middle of that tempo range. The other services actually have a tempo range. Army just says 120, period. They don't give a range. So set your metronome, download loud metronome onto your phone, put it in a back pocket, you turn it up. You can set it to 2/4 with a high and low tone, and you can, and I'll make a note here. I'll get a link to my metronome video. It'll explain how to do that. So you want to make sure that no matter what you're doing, marching forward, even marching backward, colors don't march backwards, but half step, marking time, it's all at 120. So you started mark time on that right foot. You still, and you can read this in the training circuit, you still take one more right step, the same sized right step, and then begin mark time on that next left foot. See, the arm swing's a little bit inconsistent from the guards. So look at the placement. Look at the placement of the staffs here. So it looks to be that the J. Rotzi staff is a little bit too far forward, but the American staff is actually centered on the foot, which is ceremonial technique, but should be a little bit more forward. It should be on the outside of the toe there and touching. Although I prefer the ceremonial technique, definitely. So now, parade rest. And I can't see the... Let me go back. Okay, so guards, great job. You're doing well. Color bearers. Now, this is another guide-on technique that we use. And I will switch cameras again. Here we go. There. All right. So another technique that we use, you have your arm fully extended when you're at order like this, and then parade, rest. Now, actually it's parade, rest. For the guide-on, it's going to be parade, rest, and then shove it out. But that's we use the guide-on techniques only so far with colors. We don't push colors out, and I'm so glad you didn't do that. That's awesome. Good job. But you're going to raise that arm, and again, the training circular has drawings, and unfortunately, I really wish they were pictures. Let me switch back here. But we have drawings. So then the training circular drawing seems to show the hands raised. It looks like it because the hands aren't in that U or V extended below. So and which is actually a change. And I can show you on the bookshelf behind me. I can show you the older field manuals that have the guard or the color bearers remaining in place for parade rest with that arm fully extended. So colors, your colors, not color guard. Air Force says color guard. You guys say colors. All right, so look, if you will, there's a little gap right there in the index finger and middle finger for the right rifle guard. Now watch. And then there's a gap in between the ring finger and middle finger. So you need to make sure that all the time your fingers are completely joined. It looks, and I can't see exactly, looks like both of the color bearers have that good grip. Splitting the heel of the butt with these two fingers and then making that donut. Yep, I think so. Okay, yeah, it looks like it. Now that's the right wheel. You go right into it with that next left. And that was good. Good technique. Yep. Got to do. And Commander, you're actually going to come to a halt and then face in march, another halt, and then a face in march into a mark time, which is kind of strange. But it's all face in march movement. Good job. Called on the correct foot. Excellent. Now see the spacing? See the visual memory is left guard is a little bit more separated. So that's something that the team has to work on. You know, we not only have definitely very inconsistent arm swing here. Left guard, you're swinging your arms with an almost 6-3 Marine Corps Air Force type of arm swing. Right guard, you've got that nice big Army arm swing, 9-6. So definitely have to match. So are you supposed to call mark time, or is it just halt? Now, if it's part of the sequence, then it's part of the sequence, and which I actually like, at least having the team once go to mark time. Many other sequences never have that, so I appreciate that. So when you go to mark time, then it's the same thing. It's, remember, you can call mark time on either foot, but it's mark time, march, another step, and then go into it. And I actually like to try and call as many commands as possible on the left so that you're always initiating on the left. So, and then mark time height, the foot height for the Army is going to be 2 inches off the ground. Well, marching surface.
United States Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. The Indian Battalion Drill Team has included their performance in Armed Color Guard Regulation Drill. Permission to leave your drill floor. Sergeant. Get up. Thank you. Sergeant. Order on. Constables. March.
Yeah. So from a halt, the colors reverse is just an immediate step forward. Even if it was the flanking movements, which you have to do that face and march, but there isn't supposed to be 2 mark time steps or even 1 mark time step. It's everybody moves forward at the same time. Well, except the American flag bearer. The color bearers switch places, and so do the guards, really. And the guards are not supposed to get there at the same time. I know it looks a little bit better, but there's a certain series of smaller steps and larger steps. And check the link when I have the notes below. So right guard, you also did the same thing on that wheel. You actually made that a little tiny arc. You were moving forward almost the whole time. Nice job. Nice job. I really appreciate being able to give you a critique. Now, you're doing some good things there, but there's also a lot of technique that really needs to be adjusted, and and it takes just pulling apart the training circular and finding out exactly what is meant by this and what is meant by that, especially with that colors reverse. That's been a big challenge to at first to wrap my head around, and then to start telling others about it. It was I get the looks. What are you talking about? Are you insane? And while that may be true, not about this, not about the colors reverse. So anyway, I hope my comments have been helpful, and thanks for the opportunity to critique. And I wish you the best, all the cadets. I really wish you the best. All right.